Missoula College officially opens to students after 3 years of construction. On Salute the Badge, Missoula police open things up over a cup of joe. And uncertainty as GOP leadership scrambles to bring another repeal and replace bill to the floor before a crucial deadline on health care.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Dennis Bragg. Jill's off tonight. It may be the first day of autumn, but the weather feels more like winter. Winter weather advisories in effect for parts of western Montana tonight. For the very latest, and also a look at what the weekend looks like, let's check in now with meteorologist Aaron Yost. Aaron?
Yeah, things not looking too bad this upcoming weekend right now, though still a little dicey for folks in the southwest quarter of the state, particularly for elevations above 5,000 feet. That's where we continue to see those winter weather advisories in place for just a few more hours now. They actually expire at midnight tonight, and I can tell you that there have been several locations that have picked up this exact amount of snowfall as predicted. Storm total. Phillipsburg, one of those places, I have a buddy that lives just outside of town. She had about 6 inches at her place, and she is located around 6,000 feet. We've got much better conditions headed our way. The full forecast coming up.
It didn't have anything to do with the weather, but 2 people are injured after a near head-on crash near Evero Hill on Highway 93 North. The wreck happened around 4 this afternoon near mile marker 10. The Montana Highway Patrol reports a Ford SUV was traveling north when it crossed the center line, striking a Ford pickup. The truck swerved to avoid the SUV, causing it to collide with the side of the truck. The 2 traveling in the SUV were transported to the hospital in Missoula, while the 2 in the truck were uninjured. Troopers say the roads were wet at the time of the crash, but that's not considered to be a factor. That crash is still under investigation. A state disciplinary panel orders suspension and disbarment for a Hamilton attorney, faulting him for outrageous conduct and a disturbing lack of judgment and disrespect for the courts. Those are just a few of the comments included in 3 separate findings against attorney Robert Myers by the Commission on Practice for the Montana Supreme Court. The rulings come as the latest development in a running fight Myers has had for several years with a series of cases with the court and Ravalli County District Judge Jeffrey Langton. At a hearing in early summer, Myers defended his position, including one stemming from a heated campaign for district court last fall in which Myers called the judge Liquor Langton, accusing him of buying drugs and questioning his findings in domestic cases. But the panel says Myers' arguments of him using free speech rights as a candidate lack legal merit and having a reckless disregard for the truth. The commission is ordering disbarment and 2 suspensions of 3 years and 7 months. It's not known yet if Myers will fight the ruling with further legal action. The ruling also creates questions about Myers' ability to represent former Ravalli County Treasurer Valerie Stamey in 2 pending lawsuits. Equipped with a gleaming new building in one of the city's most scenic locations, Missoula College launches a bold new initiative preparing people for not only employment, but a lifetime of opportunities. That's the message that was a capstone as the college celebrated its grand opening today. After 3 years and nearly $30 million, Missoula College is completely open for business in the mouth of Hellgate Canyon. The milestone comes after the pouring of tons of concrete, the erection of steel and wood, and installing state-of-the-art systems. But the college represents more than just a project well done. It's also representative of a change of focus for the Montana University system, of pursuing better ways of integrating the 2-year and 4-year programs and preparing students for careers in a rapidly changing world.
Montana did not have such a great record about involving and connecting its community college to its universities.
We are a community invested in creating valuable and relevant learning experiences for our students, and we're here to say thank you for the many, many years of work that so many of you put in to help us be here.
The ceremony represented the diversity of the population Missoula College will serve and the community benefit which will develop behind these walls, whether it's medicine, food service, or technology.
There's immense value in creating more than just even the building, that culture where students are aware of what their potential can be. But long after all of us gather, years and years later, there'll be dreams being created and opportunities made because of the commitments of so many of you all here, the commitments of legislators, the commitments of those in the private sector that helped create this opportunity.
Missoula College itself is a symbol of that opportunity, starting originally as a vocation education center in 1967, serving several hundred students. The new building will already serve over 2,000. clarification on an earlier story, Missoula College was funded through a $29 million appropriation from the legislature, with additional financial support from the Payne family, Blackfoot tribe, and other key donors. It's no secret that the University of Montana is going through some changes. Recently, it was announced that at the end of the semester, administrators opted against renewing the contracts for multiple lecturers. After negotiations between administration, the Commissioner of Higher Education, and the University Faculty Union, a compromise has been reached. Typically, lecturers are under contract for a full year and are required to have a full semester's notice if they aren't going to be rehired at the end of that commitment. According to Faculty Union spokesperson Lee Banfield, the university said that they could legally shorten those contracts. The union opposed the action, and with the support of students and the community, they managed to reach a middle ground. Though it's only a temporary solution, it was a relief for most.
We were so happy to be able to come back and say, you know, not everything's known about the future, but you're here and we value you, and you're going to be here in the spring, and the students who are enrolling in your classes in a month are going to be able to take you.
The union encourages students and community members to continue to reach out and support the university and their lecturers in whatever way they can. The third of 4 University of Montana presidential candidates made his case for why he should be chosen. Seth Bodnar is a business executive, military officer, and former educator at West Point. While he lacks the university administrative experience some of the other candidates have, he believes his unique perspective could benefit UM.
Seth Bodnar is the only University of Montana presidential candidate with no prior experience as a university administrator, but he sees that as a strength. He says his background affords him a unique perspective on problems facing UM.
Perhaps because of my background as an officer in the U.S. Army, as a senior executive in a large company, as the leader of a technology business, I've seen firsthand the value of this institution and others like it in our diplomacy, in our national security, in our economy. And I'd offer that perhaps I could be even more effective as an advocate to people outside the academy for the value of what we do here.
Bodnar recognizes what he calls a rift between UM administrators, faculty, and students following a series of budget concerns, decreasing enrollment, and possible layoffs. He says he wants to close that rift, but acknowledges it won't be easy.
So I think it starts with reminding everyone that we all want what's best for this university. We are one team with one mission, and we are all working to chart the next steps of this great institution.
He says that despite not coming from academia, he sees the value in research institutions and believes a university is more than a place one goes for an education.
I absolutely value this. I see tremendous importance in research, in academic inquiry, in free and respectful exchange of ideas.
In Missoula, Eric Clements, MTN News.
The final presidential candidate, Charles Ambrose, will introduce himself and take questions this coming Monday. That starts at 3:30 p.m. inside the UC Theater. It'll be followed by a community reception later on Monday evening. Coming up after the break, Aaron will be back with your sunny forecast for the weekend, and later GOP leadership scrambles to bring another repeal and replace bill to replace the Affordable Health Care Act. We'll have the latest coming up.